Topic 1 is on basic differentiation. So let's start with understanding how we perform differentiation. If I tell you g is bx power n, when dg by dx, which is called the derivative of g with respect to x, is given by, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this n to find the differentiation. I take this n, I bring it in the front, so bn, and when I write the x here, and then I have n minus 1. So this is called a first derivative. Now, if I want to find the second derivative of g with respect to x, then I will write it like this, d to g dx2. This means the second derivative. So I will now start with dg by dx. So I look at dg by dx. I have b times n x power n minus 1. Therefore, I'm going to bring this n here, n minus 1 in the front. So I have b n, and then n minus 1. And then I'm going to write x, and I'm going to minus 1 again here in the power. So this becomes n minus 2. So also g is written as a function, that is gx. If gx is a constant, then the differentiation of this gx with respect to x, it becomes 0. If you differentiate a constant, you get 0. Now let's look at an example. Let's say g becomes 3x squared. That is, I'm going to write it as follows. G is a function of x, and this is equal to 3x squared. Therefore, dg by dx becomes, I bring this 2 in the front, I multiply it, it becomes 6. And here I'm going to subtract 1, it becomes 6x. And what happens to the second derivative of this dg by dx? I look at this 6x. I have a 1 here, which I will bring it in the front. It becomes 6 times 1, which is 6. And x is 1 minus 1, which is 0. Therefore, it becomes 6. And if I want to find the third derivative, constant here, like we said, it's going to be 0. So this is about just the basic of differentiation. If y equals sine x, which is a trigonometric function now, sine x, then I will say dy by dx become cos x. And let's say y becomes sine of ax. Its dy by dx become a cos ax. Also, y equal cos ax, then dy by dx become minus a sine ax. This you should learn by heart. You should know this. When exponential fraction, if y e power ax, then dy by dx, I'm going to take the e here and bring it in the front, and I write e power ax. If y become ln, which is a logarithmic function, then dy by dx become 1 over x. What I will do, I am going to take, how I get this 1 over x, I'm going to take this quantity here, ax, I'm going to differentiate it with respect to x. It becomes ax becomes a over ax. So this goes out, then you have 1 over x. Moreover, the sum or difference of a fraction will have its derivative of separate terms. That is, if I say f of t, a function, in t, it equals to the sum of n difference of these fraction. There is a different fraction in p, different fraction in q, different fraction in r. So all these are different functions. They are sum and differences. Then f dash of t will be equal to the derivative of a separate terms. This is also another way of writing. I can write it like this. This dash notation stands for derivative. Example, if y equal 10x power 4, dy by dx become, I put the 4 in the front, which becomes 10 times 4, which is 40. And when I minus 1 here, which is 4 minus 1 equals 3. If y equals 16 over x power 5, so what does dy by dx becomes? So I'm going to take the 16, I place it here. I'm going to take the x, I bring it in the front, in the numerator, sorry. This is minus 5. Then I'm going to take minus 1 with it. And then I'm going to place this minus 5 in the front. So this will become minus 90 x power minus 6. And what if y equals 6 over cube root? The cube root of x power 4. So this is going to be, I'm going to write it like this, 6 over x power 4. What does cube root means? It means to the power of 1/3. So this becomes 6 over x power 4 by 3, which I can further simplify by bringing it into the numerator, 6x, like this. Now I can differentiate this. Dy by dx become, I take whatever I have here, I bring it in the front, 6 into minus 1/3 times x minus 4/3 minus 1. And this becomes 3 goes here 2. This becomes minus a x power minus 4/3 minus 1 minus 7 over. This becomes the answer. So now let's continue with this. Let's say I have, if y equals 5x cubed plus 6x minus 1 over 3x squared plus 1 over square root x minus 5. If I tell you find dy by dx, I like using different colors just to grab attention. Dy by dx becomes, take the 3 from here, 15x squared 6x, this becomes 6 minus, now this here I'm going to write it as 3x by bringing the x square here, I bring it in the numerator. So this becomes here, and this one x power half, square root x means x power half. So I'm going to write it x power minus half. Now I can differentiate this. I'm going to bring the minus 2 in the front. Minus 2. And this one will become a 3 in the denominator. Minus 2 minus 1 becomes minus 4. And now this one, I bring the minus half here. And this one becomes minus half minus 1. this becomes minus 3 by 2. And now minus 5, the derivative of a constant is 0, so I will leave it like this. And this will give me the final answer because minus minus, this one becomes plus. This becomes the final answer. If y equals 5 sine 3x, what is dy by dx? So I'm going to use the previously given equation formula, which I mentioned that we have to learn this by heart here. I show you. If y equals sine of ax, dy by dx become a cos ax. You take the a, you bring it in the front, and then cos of ax. Cos of ax, this becomes minus a sine ax. So what happens here, I'm going to take this 3, I bring it in the front. This is going to be 15, 3 times 5, cos of 3x. If p equals 4 cos of 3t, what is dp by dt? 3, you bring it in the front, 12, and this becomes sine of 3t. You have to remember that when you differentiate cos, you are going to get sine, but there is a negative sign that comes here. When you differentiate sine, you will get cos, and it is positive sign. Another example, if g equal 4e power 4x, what is g? dg by dx. So again, you take the 4 here, you bring it 16e power 4x. If y equal 2 over e power 4 theta, so I'm going to write this as 2. I bring the e power 4 theta in the numerator, minus 4 theta, then dy by d theta. Now you differentiate y with respect to theta. I'm going to bring this minus 4 in the front, minus 8 e power minus 4 theta. Or I can rewrite as minus 8, and I send this in the denominator like this. Now a logarithmic fraction, and then 2x dy by dx is going to be 6. Then what do? Like I said, I'm going to take this 2x, I differentiate it. I'm going to have 2, keep it in the numerator, and what I have here, I bring it in the denominator. So this becomes 6 over x. So if I tell you now, find the coordinates of a point the graph given by p equals 4x squared minus 6x plus 3 where the gradient is minus 2. So you always remember gradient is equivalent to finding derivative of a function. Here we are going to find dp by dx. So dp by dx becomes, I bring this here in the front, 8x minus 6 of this one, and this becomes the gradient, which is given as minus 2. So 8x minus 6 equals minus 2. 8x become minus 2 plus 6, which is 4. X becomes half. Y become 4x squared. Now I'm going to find the y coordinate. So half 4 like this becomes 1 minus this 3 plus 3, which is 1. And the coordinate of the point is the x, which is half, and y, which is 1. Okay, now let us look at the differentiation of a product. And what will come out of this? It will be called the product rule for differentiation. Say y equals u times v, where u and v are functions of x. Or I can write it as ux vx. Then, using product rule, we have dy by dx, because this is a function in x, this one also is a function in x. So I will use a product rule of differentiation. I'm going to write it as u times dv by dx plus v times du by dx. So this is known as the product rule. Now let's look at an example. If y becomes 4x cubed sine of 2x, use product rule to find dy by dx. So dy by dx becomes, look at this. I'm going to write this as u, and I write this one as v. So I use the equation, the formula here, u dv by dx, that is the u, and I write this as dv by dx, this differentiation. This differentiation, sine of 2x, I take the 2 in the front, this becomes cos of 2x, plus v, which is the sine of 2x, and du by dx. I now differentiate this. This becomes 3 brings here 12x squared. And finally, I'm going to have dy by dx equal 2 times 8x cubed cos of 2x plus 12x squared sine 2x. This is the product rule. Okay, now what we will do, we will continue on the next page.